Radio, broadcasting straight from Osaka, Japan. Exclusive interviews, talk shows, DJ sessions. Check it out.
From this moment on, you and me, dear, we'll have two for tea, dear. From this moment on, from this happy day, no more blue songs, only hoop-de-doo songs. From this moment on, for you got the love I need so much. Got the skin I love to touch. Got the arms to hold me tight. You got the sweet lips to kiss me goodnight. From this moment on, you and I, babe, we'll be flying high, babe. Every care is gone. From this moment on.
Hey, what's up, Blackan listeners? Blackan Massive. We're here today again for another special interview. I'm your host, Jaja. We have two talented jazz musicians here today, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about their album. We're going to talk about their Japan tour and everything in between. So stay tuned till the very end. It's going to be a nice show. 皆さん、こんにちは、Jaja です。今日は特別番組で、すごく才能のある二人のアーティストが今日来ていた、スタジオに来ていらっしゃるよね。彼らのアルバムとか、彼らのジャパンツアーとか、そして、いろんなイベントについていろいろ話しながら、そして、彼らの生演奏もありますね。ライブショーもあります。ぜひ最後まで聞いてみてください。彼は紹介させていただきます。So guys, I'm going to introduce you to our guests today. Please welcome Kimba and Ryan.
Hey, here we are.
How are you?
Hey.
How are you? Thanks for coming.
Maido.
Maido Okini.
Okini, thanks for having us.
No worries, man. I really appreciate you guys finding some time. I know you guys are busy, tours, and even today you have shows, right? So, it's a short show, but we're going to talk about your album. So I want our listeners to actually know, more about you. So originally you guys are from Melbourne, right?
From Melbourne, Australia. That's right. Yeah. So we've been kind of making a little scene for ourselves down there, and it's a very vibrant scene in Melbourne. A lot of jazz music, a lot of music of all types there, and so it's a real hotbed. And so we've learned a lot playing with people down there and sort of putting ourselves out there. But we've also been traveling around and taking our music to other places. So
okay, cool.
That's why we're here.
彼らはもうメルボルンね。彼らの前はキンバとライアンですね。すごく素晴らしいジャズミュージシャンで、もともとオーストラリアのメルボルン出身ですね。そこでもうライアンがおっしゃったように、いろんなところにプレイして、いろんなアーティストを共演して、いろんな経験をしてきたと。ね。もうだからすごい面白い番組になると思いますので、次は、二人はカップルなんですね。そういうことについて、もう音楽入る前にちょっと聞いてみたいと思います。So so before we really talk about, in depth about music, you guys are a couple, right?
We're a couple.
That's right. We're a married couple.
We've been together for 16 years.
16 years?
Yeah, but
wow.
I say 17 because I was chasing Ryan for 9 months before he fell under my spell. And been playing music for the same amount of time.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. ね、もう16年間ね、もう知り合いも付き合いだって、もうカップルですね。で、キンバが、おっしゃったのは、もうライアンをずっと追いかけたと。でも、やっとゲッツできましたっていう感じで。でも、二人ともすごく素晴らしい、ミュージシャンで。So how did you guys, 今から聞くのは、どういうふうに二人がね、音楽の、コンビというかね、ができたという。So how did you guys get together and started making music?
I guess we met at university and we were doing sort of a creative arts program, but music wasn't offered as part of that, but both of us loved music.
Okay.
Ryan was already a very accomplished musician. He'd been touring with big rock bands around when he was 16, you know, cool teenage hero.
Yeah.
But I was just getting into jazz and he was already in jazz, so I guess as our friendship developed, so did the music.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's very much something that developed together, and you know, I guess we have a love of old school music, you know, and through that's been a journey of discovery and sort of going back and digging out through the archives, the dusty archives of old LPs and 78s and weird old things and finding some real gems and finding stories in those old songs that resonate with us. So it was kind of like
the old school that actually hooked you guys up.
Yeah, definitely. We have very similar taste, which I think helps. So we were friends first, but we were just like, I love that. Hey, I love that, you know. So when we played music, it was kind of easy in that way, but you know, when you're a couple and you play music, there's also challenges like writing together, working every day together. That can
the
be
normal realities of life,
that
right?
can be kind of hard.
Exactly. ね、今キンバさんとライアン聞いたのは。キムさんは学生の時代だったらね、ライアンと出会って、もうライアンはもうすでにもう、プロの、ミュージシャンで、いろんな音楽、ミュージシャンとツアーしましたんですね。そこからもう、共通点はもう、オールスクールのね、ジャズとか音楽が二人が好きで、そこからもう、二人のコンビネーションが出来上がれたんですよね。今から、聞きたいのは、まあ、その時から今までいろんな経験してきたんですけども、アルバムも出しました。どういうジャーニーね、その過程はどうでしたかっていう感じ。So tell me about, you know, you guys hooked up together and, you know, I know it's not an easy road, you know, you have your ups and downs and, you know, so tell me about, you know, how you were able to get to this level, you know?
I think, well, it's interesting. We consider ourselves working musicians, you know.
Okay.
So in that sense, we work on our products and our art, which is our album here. But back in Melbourne, as a musician, to survive, you have to put your finger in a lot of pies, you know. So that's doing all sorts of gigs and playing as often as you can. And I think through that process of just playing all the time, and jazz gigs, you know, we're often playing 5 or 6 or 7 hours a night, you know.
Wow.
So we're just doing a lot of playing.
That's a lot of hours, huh?
That's a lot of hours,
sets.
you know.
We do a lot of events and weddings. So that's sort of how we kind of make a living. And, you know, 5 sets a night is just normal. So I talk to my friends who are sort of in original bands and they go on tour in these big stadiums, you know, and I say, what do you do? And they say, well, it's 45 minutes. So you just like get out there. It's like, bang, you know, whereas fast we have to kind of get out. It's like a marathon, you know. So we consider ourselves like marathon musicians. And I guess now we have children and there's not much time to sit down with your instrument. It's really hard.
To balance it, right?
Doing events, doing weddings means that we actually play and it keeps our chops up, you know?
I think also the thing is that when you're playing in those situations, a lot of the time it's background, you're providing an atmosphere. So because of that, you can really experiment and really discover your instrument, really push the boundaries of your instrument.
Beautiful. Listen, 皆さん、ね、どういうふうにも今までね、いろんな、もう山ありね、谷もあるっていう、もう、アップス&ダウンがあるんですけども、でも、ライアンによってもう、いつももう練習して、そしていろんなところでイベントとかプレイすることはね、まあ、経験を積んで、自分のスキルアップもできるという感じですね。で、キンバさんも同じような感じで、もう、例えばジャズギグは、まあ、例えば4時間、5時間は普通なんですよね。そこに行ってもうずっとプレイしたりするとか、すごく、で、今も子供もね、いらっしゃる2kids, right? 3人の子供もいらっしゃるしね、もうそれをバランスとか取りながらね、音楽もやっていくのはすごく大変なんですけども、でも、まあ、やりがいがある。
大変です。
頑張ります。
ね。という形ですね。So let's talk about your music, you know, and I know you guys are wonderful musicians, you know, jazz and the jazz scene. Tell me about jazz to you. Okay, let me start with Ryan. What is jazz to you?
I think jazz is a sort of a musical space in which you can use the song as a framework for expressing who you are as a musician.
Okay.
So we choose songs that have a story that resonates with us, and then through that, I can experiment with. I know the song inside out, so I can find new things and experiment. So from each time we play the song, it's going to be different. Sometimes. Completely
so there's
different.
just flexibility in there, right?
It's flexible and it's personal, you know. So really, I can put a lot of myself into that, and so I think also you tap into just a huge canon of music going right back, and so when I play that music, I feel like I'm really tapping into those guys that I've worshipped, and learnt from, but also adding my own spin on it as well.
Exactly, like a reservoir of talents.
Yeah, and teachers and masters.
Exactly. ライアンさんにはもうジャズとは何ですかと聞いたんですけども、自分にとってはもうすごくもうフレキシブルな範囲で自分の才能を発揮できる音楽のジャンルね。それもう、そして、ジャズというのはもう、いろんなもう、現在だけじゃなくて、古くもう昔からの、もうそう偉大なミュージシャンたちの、曲とかも参考できるし、すごく素晴らしい音楽と思います。What about Kimba? What is jazz to you?
I think jazz is a couple of things to me. So as a vocalist, who I don't have a lot of theoretical background, in fact none really, I foremost see jazz as a canon of songs written by masterful lyricists and then who got together with amazing kind of composers and then they wrote these beautiful songs and then they gave them to incredible singers who took those songs and found a way to really find a story in that. So as a jazz vocalist, I only sing a song if I understand the lyric and it means something to me. I don't like to sort of just sing a song because it's a jazz song. And the other thing is, as I get older, like I've learnt that my time is really limited. I'd love to do more jazz theory, but what I know is I have my ears, and so jazz is about your ears, listening and hearing what's happening with the melody and the chords.
And also the other musicians in the room with you, responding to them.
Like
that chemistry is going to be there, right?
Yeah, like they're doing something and you go, the bass is doing I'm going to do a descending line too. I'm going to trade fours with you. And so for me, it's like a conversation and it's something that you can always get better at, like learning a language. Like say you learn even your own language. Like today I started writing out English words that I never use. I want to learn more words, that's the same with jazz. I want to learn more jazz. Like how can I make music in a space that's not set? So that's what it means to me.
すごく素晴らしいね。ライアンと同じようなもう接点のあるんですけれども、要するに、もう自分の才能が発揮できるような感じで、もうコミュニケーションみたいな感じですね。例えば、ジャズの、例えば演奏してる時にも、いろんな楽器とか、ベースとか、ピアニストとか、ギターとか、するんですけど、いるんですけども、でも、お互いにそういう、もう、つながるものがあるっていうのは、すごく自分がジャズなんですよね。そしてボーカリストとしては歌うのはただもうジャズの曲だっていうんじゃなくて、その意味がちゃんとある曲を意味分かって歌うのはすごく自分にはもう大切なことですね。So, now I know what it means to be a jazz musician to you guys. I know you're a fabulous guitarist. So tell me about how you started out with the guitar, right?
Well, actually I started out playing the clarinet.
Ah.
Yeah, me and my dad had a Dixieland jazz band that played for old people in our little town.
Here you go.
So, but then when I was about 10, I realized that when I played the guitar, I got, I had a little bit more street cred than I did with the clarinet at that time.
Okay.
And I fell in love with Jimi Hendrix, and I fell in love with Eric Clapton and the blues and rock and roll,
Cool.
And that instrument, I felt at that age, those teenage years, I could really get all that angst and energy out. And so all my mates, we just played in bands, and I got my first job working at a supermarket, working out in the hot sun, pushing trolleys. I was getting like $4 an hour or something. And then my guitar teacher invited me down to his gig, and the trumpet player who rest in peace, Robbie. He said, "Hey man, I like your sound. You should come down every second week. I'll pay you $80." for the hour. So
Here you go.
I was like, hey,
out from
man.
the blues.
Yeah. So there you go. So it was like there was my second job, was playing guitar. And it's still been there. So yes, but the problem is I'm still getting $80 for the gig.
You've never moved beyond that, right?
Well, sometimes, yeah. But so it was a way of expressing myself and my feelings, but it was also a way of working, and I think that's always been the way with jazz. And now that we have a family, we go out and we play music and we work, but we're also expressing ourselves and hanging out with people who we love, and so it's a good combination.
Yeah. 簡単にね、説明しますと、ライアンさんはすごく素晴らしいギタリストですよね。どういうふうにそれをね、そんなに上手になったんですかと聞いたときには、もう小さい時のお父さんの、小さいバンドがあったんですね。で、クラロネットから、プレイし始めて、そして、でもギターやり始めた時には、すごくもう自分の才能はもうすごくスムーズに出れるというか、出るっていう感じでギターを選んだんですけども、そしてもう若い時のはもうスーパーマーケットでね、すごく安い、もう$4ぐらいの時給でね、やってたんですけども、で、プレイしてる間にあるね、通行人っていうかもう人が、あなたのギターはすごく素晴らしいですよとか、うちのところにもう$80ぐらい払いますよとか言われて、そしてそこからもうスーパーマーケットの仕事を辞めて、そのバンドにね、入りましたんですね。そこからもう自分のスキルアップしてきたんですね。でも面白いことはもう$80、当時はもう$80から、すごくもう$4から$80がすごく大きいとか思ったんですけども、でも今でもあまり買わないんです。でもまあ家族がいて、ね、今素晴らしい友達も囲まれてるからすごくやりがいがあると。そうですね。そうですね。Okay, so what about Kimba, the vocal? So how you were able to train up your vocal to this level?
Well, I started very young. I sang all the time when I was little. And my mum used to make me sing for people all the time.
Oh, really?
Sing Edelweiss from The Sound of Music, go. And I, Edelweiss. And I used to tape myself. So I'd put on tapes and I'd sing and I'd just practice like that. And I'd listen back and then I'd, I should start doing that again. And then I just got into musical theatre because I didn't believe that I could be in a band. And in my girls' school I went to, unless you played an instrument, then you didn't get to be in a band.
Okay.
So I just grew up thinking I could never be in a band. I'll just do musicals, which I didn't really love that much, but I just wanted to sing. And then when I was about 15, I heard Billie Holiday, and I heard a jazz album that had Bill Evans, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And I just got obsessed with it, but I didn't even really know that it was jazz. I didn't know. And then from there, I realised it was jazz, and I just started listening. And when I moved to Melbourne, because I'm from Canberra, I had a peak experience where I was at a pub listening to a band playing, and then all of a sudden I heard this singing, and I was like, oh my God, and I pushed my way to the front. And there was this beautiful redhead standing there, and she was scatting this incredible and I was like, wow, oh my God, I want to do that. And so I blew your mind away, and I said, I want to do that. And she said, I'll teach you.
Wow.
And so she, Julie, hey, peace, Julie, love you. It was my singing teacher from 1998, and I still have lessons with her now.
Wow.
And she and other musicians, and Ryan's been a huge teacher for me. And I just practiced, and some, for me, technique or that sort of thing doesn't come that easily to me, but other things come really easily, like storytelling and a nice tone. So I just try to work with what I got.
Beautiful.
Do the best with what you got.
Yeah, exactly. ね、キンバさんはもうすごく素晴らしいボーカリストであるということで、どういうふうにもうその素晴らしい声が出せるかっていう聞いたんですけども、小さい時にはもう母さんがもう強制的にもう歌えね、例えば親戚が家に遊びに来た時にもうみんなの前で歌わせるっていうことからね、そして自分のボイスをリコーディングして聞いたりして練習したりしてたんですね、若い時。そこからもうだんだん自分の才能を磨いて、そしてある日はもうメルボンでね、あるライブの時に いた時にね、ある女性が歌ってたんですよね。なんかすごく素晴らしいボイスで、もう声がすごく素晴らしくて、もう前にいて、誰が歌ってるのはすごく前にいて、で、見た時にはそういう、すごく綺麗な女性が、もう歌って、その女性と同じような感じでもう歌いたいっていう気持ちが湧いてきて、で、実際に彼女に聞いて、もうあなたみたいに歌いたいと。で、教えてあげましょうとこういう答えが来たからすごくびっくりしたんですね。その女性の名前はジュリーね。ジュリーさんですね。今もう、ジュリーによろしくとか言ってたんですけど、そこからもう、キンバさんの、もう自分に自信を持って、で、もう自分の才能を練習して、今もう、素晴らしい、ボーカリストして、ね、今もうコンビでやってるんですけども。So yes, guys, we're gonna have a live show, Kimba Ryan is gonna do a live for us today. But before we move on to that, we're gonna take a break. Okay, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna play one of your songs called Rhapsody.
That's right.
Yeah. So tell me about this song, Rhapsody.
Well, this perfectly expresses the question that you asked before. What's it like being a musician for you guys?
Yeah.
This is our song, and it's a very, very old-fashioned sort of feel to the song, like a classic song that has always been around. But the lyrics really relate to what our life is like now.
Oh, okay.
And, balancing romance and music and family. Yeah.
Oh, okay. ね。そのブレイクに入る前に、この曲を、流したいんですけども、キンバとライアンの曲で、ラプソディっていう、曲なんですね。この曲はすごくもうすべての気持ちが入ってて、もう家族とかもう音楽とバランスとってやっていくという意味を込めて、書いた曲なんですね。一回それを聞いて、そして、次の段階も、彼らのアルバムとかイベントについて全部いろいろ話して、番組を進めたいと思います。ぜひ、最後まで聞いてみてください。次はもうラプソディ聞いてみてください。
I'm in a river so deep. When our bodies touch, I'm floating away right out to sea, out to sea. Not so much time anymore to explore the far-flung waters. It's a tide so strong, too hard to resist. Time's ticking and tucking away, tick-tock. Not so much time anymore to lounge in quantity. So make each moment between you and me a rhapsody. I trace the curves of your hips in my mind, knowing the next time I touch you, I'll jump right in and find a symphony, a melody that serves all to remind me of other times, all the next times, those day-to-day throwaway moments in time. Not so much time anymore to theorize, dramatize, or shut the door. So make each moment between you and me a rhapsody. too hard to resist. Time's ticking and ticking away. Tick tock, tick tock. Not so much time anymore to lounge in quantity. So make each moment between you and me. So make each moment between you and me. So make each moment between you and me all a rhapsody.
Yes, that was Rhapsody by the lovely Kimba Ryan. That's a beautiful song. It's from the album. We're going to talk about the album, The Leaves Stay Green, right? Mm-hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. So, let's go right into the album ね。これはラプソディでしたね。キンバとライアンの、曲で、この曲は、キンバとライアンの新アルバムの、中からね、かけさせてもらったんですけども、そのアルバムのタイトルは、The Leaves Stay Green というアルバムね。そのアルバムについて今からいろいろ話してみようかなと思うんですけども、Let's talk about, the album. So, when did the album came out?
It came out in 2000 and...
We released it in Australia in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we've taken a while to get it up on iTunes.
Oh, okay.
So I guess in between the album we had another a baby. Mm-hmm. So we had another little project that we were doing. So it feels like a long time now, but really, I guess those songs we're still really enjoying playing them.
Beautiful. ね。2012年にね、出ましたんですけども、その間にまた、子供は生まれたんですけども、でも、そのバランス持ってね、いろんなこのアルバムを完成しましたんですけども。So, where can we get the album?
So the album's on iTunes.
iTunes?
Yeah, and people can just look for Kimba and Ryan. Mm-hmm. And also, it's available on Bandcamp.
Bandcamp.com. Okay. That's your website, right?
That's another sort of hub for independent musicians.
Cool, cool.
Well, checking out if you are an independent musician.
Okay.
And our website is Aussie Jazz, AUSSIE jazz.com.au.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So このアルバムはThe Leaves Stay Green というねアルバムはもちろん iTunes でも購入できるし、キンバとライアンという名前を入力したら出ますし、そしてbandcamp.com ね、bandcamp.com でも購入することができますね。そして彼らのホームページもありますね。aussiejazz.com/au
Just .au.
あ、.au ね。
Aussie beef じゃなくてよ。
Aussie Jazz. Aussie
Jazz.
まだ美味しいだよ。
ライアンもね、日本語喋れますよね。
ぼちぼちで。
ぼちね。ぼちぼちね。大阪弁ね。うん。いい感じ。後で日本語ちょっと話しましょうね。
頑張ります。
ね。OK。そのアルバムについてね、今話してるんですけども。So, tell me about how many songs is on the album?
I think there's 11 songs on there, I think, 11 or 12. And it was recorded in gorgeous studio in suburban Melbourne. Yeah, and called Belmar Records, and it's this great musician Steve Purcell, who sort of an Aussie jazz legend, and he records everything analog, everything live with great microphones, and just in a room, in his house. And on some of the songs, if you listen really carefully, you can hear the rain and the birds. And, it really, it's an album that just captures a live feeling. And we really wanted to do that because we feel that so much of the production these days is very, predetermined, and every tempo is set. And we just wanted to open it up to the sound of the room and us playing music together, and just see where it went, and it's a very simple sound. Most of it's just guitar and voice, sometimes just guitar, other times we include a double bass as well. And so we really wanted to hark back to those classic days of the jazz recordings.
And I don't think we've moved. I don't know about the next album, but we might do something different, but I think we'll, it's not something I'm finished with, that sound of just doing a take and And if you don't get it right, you got to do another take. You know? And maybe you got to come back to it all. But you know, the idea of like dropping bits in, you know, oh, don't worry, we'll just drop that in. You know, I don't love that. Sometimes I appreciate, you know, like you hear Carmen McRae and one of her notes, you know, she goes a bit flat. Well, she didn't care, you know, she just left it there.
Yeah, exactly. ね、このアルバムはもう11曲が入ってるんですよね。11曲。で、ライアンに、話したのは、その曲はもうすごくもう自然なフローで、もうナチュラルの、ね、ナチュラルの関係で、リコーディングできましたんですね。で、いろんな、まあ、ミュージシャンとか、いろんな楽器を使って、でもそんなにたくさんの楽器を使ってない。すごくシンプルなギターとか、ボーカルがメインで、そして、また、ある曲はもうギターだけとかもありますし、でもすごくシンプルで素晴らしいアルバムですよね。で、so, we're gonna talk about, the live you're gonna do for us today. Okay? So, the song, what's the title of the song again? You're gonna do the first?
We're gonna do, I Thought About You.
I Thought About You, yeah. So, 今からね、this I Thought About You is from this album?
Yes.
That's correct, yeah.
Cool. So, このアルバムの中で、ある曲があるんですよね。I Thought About You ね。君のことを考えてるんですよ、とは。I Thought About You。その曲をもう、キンバーとライアンがもう生演奏でね、してもらうと。So guys, we're gonna check out, a live show.
Great.
By Kimba and Ryan.
Yay.
The song from the new album, I Thought About You.
Cheers, man.
Great.
Beautiful. Okay, let's get it on.
Yaro.
All right. Well, Kimba and Ryan, and this is one of our favorite songs from our album. It's called I Thought About You. I took a trip on a train and I thought about you. Beneath the shadowy lane, I thought about you. 2 or 3 cars parked under the stars, winding stream, moon shining down on some little town, and in each beam the same old dream. And every stop that we made, I thought about you. And as I pulled down the shade, man, I really felt so blue. Peeped through the crack and looked at the track, the one winding back to you. And what did I do? I thought about you. And every stop that we made, I thought about you. And as I pulled down the shade, man, I really felt so blue. Peeped through the crack and looked at the track, the one winding back to you. And what did I do? Oh, what did I do? Oh, what did I do? I thought about you.
That was I Thought About You by Kimba and Ryan. That was a nice combination. Beautiful. I love it. So tell me when you guys sing together, you know, how do you, I know there's a lot of chemistry going on, you know, stuff that we couldn't see and we couldn't hear actually.
Yeah.
So how you manage to balance it? How
Well, I guess we'll talk about that song, right? So, first of all, it's a story. It's an old song. It's a really old song, and it was probably made famous by Frank Sinatra. You know, we're going back a long time, and it's for me, it's a story of somebody going about there every day and missing somebody, you know, and sort of pining for somebody. And there's a bittersweet feeling
elements
to it.
That's interesting, because I feel when I sing the song,
tell me about your interpretation.
when I feel like they've just left that person and like maybe they're not going to come back. Like they're like, I'm leaving, you know, I'm out of here. I'm gonna, and then they get on the train. It's like really fresh, and then they're like, oh my god, what have I done? You know, and then every single thing.
Yeah.
So isn't that funny?
Yeah. It's kind of like a bittersweet. Just as
It's
you say.
a bittersweet feeling, right? And the original is quite sort of, it's big bandy, this sort of thing, and that didn't seem right to me, you know. So I sort of re-harmonized, I guess is what you'd say. I changed some of the chords, and I added chords and a style of playing that you might find maybe in a new soul sound or something like that. You know, that sort of feel, you know. So that seemed to, you know, be really sort of capture the atmosphere of it for me anyway. So
beautiful.
I also heard a really amazing Melbourne musician, Ben Gillespie, Benny G. Peace. He does a great version, and when I heard him sing it, I was like, oh my god, the story, you know, and that's one of his talents as well. And so when you hear someone sing a song and tell a story, then you're like, wow, how would I tell that? You know, and that's the thing about being a singer. It's like, how am I going to tell this story? Everyone tells the same story. They all sing this song. But what does it mean to me, and how can I get it out? You know,
taking it from a different angle. Or, you know.
And one of the great things working with Ryan and working together for so long is that our time is very fluid. So like normally when you play with musicians, you got to try to be right on the time. But for us, like, you know, he can add a bar or I can take away a bar, and
kind of flexible.
You just go with each other, you know, and then you know how to get back. That's the good thing.
That's a good thing.
It's fun.
ね、今素晴らしい演奏をねしていただいたI Thought About You ね、キンバとライアン、どういうふうに二人のコンビネーションはね、どういうふうにバランス取ってうまくねやってるかっていう聞いたんですけども、まあいろんなもうギターとかの音とか聞いたりして、すごくフレキシブルな感じでね、二人でやってるんですけども、その硬い面ではなくて、例えば、ライアンがあるベースを取ったり、ね、ある部分を取ったり、そして、キンバもある部分をちょっと、変えたりするとか、でも、また最後にはみんな、同じね、ところでみんなまた、集まるというか、まあ、同じ接点でまた曲を入るっていう、すごくいいバランスで二人でもうフレキシブルな感じでやってるから、すごく楽しいなと思って。またもう最後にはもう一つのライブをね、演奏してもらうんですけども、その時にはもう I Hear Music という曲なんですけども。So guys, don't, you know, remember towards the end of the show, they're going to do another live for us, I Hear Music.
Yeah.
So,
completely different.
Exactly. So stay tuned for that. And before we go to that, I want to talk about your tour in Japan and your events. You know, there's, you know, these are very important because you guys are on tour, ね。
今、We're on tour. Kansai only tour.
ね、関西ツアーでね、二人が、回ってるんですけども、今日もなんかnot Ryan's, Blackan Stone, Irish pub, right?
そうですね。
そう、Blackan Stone で、演奏するというね、ショーがあるということですけど、いろんな関西でいろいろ回ってるんですけども、どういう、感想ですか？今聞いてみたいと思います。So tell us about the tour, what's the good and bad out of it?
So the way that it started was that we were hoping to play the Hokkaido Jazz Festival, and we were like really excited, like we're going to get. Wow, they sort of asked us to, you know, send our stuff, and we were like, wow, and then nothing happened, and so we were like really devastated. But in that time, we were like, hey, wait. We could go back to Japan. We can go and play with all our friends again. You know, we used to live here. We lived here for 3 years, and so we called up Eric Wiggy Wiggs, respect, our drummer, and James Barrett, and we said, hey, you know, do you want to have we come over? And they were like, absolutely. And so everyone has helped us so much to organise gigs. All of the different people we used to play with, haven't they?
Yeah, so we've played at a whole bunch of different places. We've done tiny little jazz bars, and we've done huge, big, beautiful, glamorous jazz bars, we've played at the Hard Rock Cafe playing rhythm and blues and ska, and then we
I enjoy that ska. That ska music was nice. Man.
So and then the grand finale is at the Royal Horse, which is a really top sort of range jazz bar here in Osaka, and if people haven't been to the Royal Horse, it's well worth going because it really is what a jazz bar is all about. So we're doing in fact it's an 8-piece band that night, and we're doing the material from the Septet album. And we've got a guest saxophone player from the UK.
Okay,
Gilad Atzmon.
Gilad Atzmon,
beautiful,
and he's an award-winning jazz musician from the UK, and so we're doing this sort of collaboration that we're hoping will sort of form the foundation for the next tour. So we can build upon those relationships and build upon our audience here in Japan.
Come to Japan again,
yeah. Man, it's really nice. 聞いたんですけどもね、もともとはジャズフェスティバルにね、来る予定だったんですけども、それはもう実現できなかったから、ちょっと残念だったんですけども、でもお友達ね、エリック・ウィグマンというお友達がいて、また日本でプレイしたいからね、そっちにツアーで行ってもいいですかね、エリック・ウィグマンが、もうぜひ来てください。そこからもう日本にもう関西ツアーが始まったんですね。いろんなところでもう小さいバーからもう大きいところまでね、プレイして回ってるんですけども、例えばハローカフェもとかいろんなミュージシャンといろいろプレイしてすごく素晴らしい経験という感じでね、いい感じでツアーがね、進んでますという感じですね。So, tell me about the shows you have coming up.
So, we're sort of coming to the end of our tour now. We've got tonight at the Blarney Stone, and that's like an electronic sort of soul jazz mashup. And then with a DJ. And tomorrow we're going to be at Icon Pizza in Wakayama with a great crew down there that have set us up. Costi is
Costi,
he's given us a gig there. Beautiful. And then the big gig is July 28 at the Royal Horse, and that's an 8-piece band with 4 horns. So it's fantastic, and all the tunes are arranged, and people can hear those tunes on our Bandcamp, and the album is called From This Moment On, the Kimba Griffith Septet.
Nice. So it's gonna be you gotta get finished with a blast, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful, 今ツアーどういう形で回って、もうだいぶいろんなところをプレイしましたんですけども、今日はもうブラニストンでプレイして、そして明日はwhere you guys gonna play?
Wakayama. Pizza.
Yeah, Wakayama ね。コスティのところですね。そして一番もうすごい大きな舞台というショーは28日。
そうですね。
ロイヤルホースでやるんですよね。すごくもう大きなバンドと一緒に共演して素晴らしいパフォーマンスとかするから、そしてそのパフォーマンスがyou're gonna have an album out of that show?
Well, we've got an album of the part of that stuff, but we're going to have more, and we're going to make video that night. And,
そのショーはもうビデオとかも曲もレコーディングして、それ全部もホームページからダウンロードして聞くことはできますし、素晴らしいですからもう皆さんロイヤルホースはご存知の方はぜひチェックしてみてください。So yeah, it's nice. So tell me about something new you guys are thinking about doing before you leave.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, we're going to go to the Sumo Basho.
The sumo you're gonna watch?
Yeah. And so I haven't my training if I show everyone the video. Mata chanko nabe ippai tabu hitsuyo da.
So you get
chance wa amari maybe I won't win this basho, but
we're going to do that, and we're going to go to the Tenjinbashi Festival. And there's we took the kids to Kyoto, and we went to the mountains in Nantan City. And look, we just walking around the streets of Osaka, we love it.
Cool.
Just anywhere you turn, there's something
New
fantastic
to see. Yeah.
Oh, and of course the Sento. We go to the Sento all the time.
Oh yeah.
Big ofuro fetchies.
Wow.
And also coming in with our children, we're seeing the world through their eyes, and
Yeah,
they are these gorgeous, like mechukuchi kawaii little things.
Beautiful experience for them.
So everyone stops them, and so it's a great way of connecting with everyday life.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
In the park, we caught semi in the park.
You can catch your stuff.
We saw people can catch them, so they go down with their net and they try with all the Japanese kids. They catch the cicada.
Yeah, cicada. Yeah.
So just all that simple stuff.
Yeah.
About life.
That's a beautiful experience, yo.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Because 今いろんなもう音楽以外はどういう風に楽しんでるんですかとかいろんなもうライアンはもう相撲を見に行くんですしね。自分も相撲にね相撲になりたい相撲さんになりたいともうまだまだねお腹が足りないんですけどもそして天神祭りとかねキンバさんも言ってたんでいろんな子供も連れて行ったりしていろんな経験させてもらってるセミもねセミ通りねもうすごいですねね、very, very Japanese. That's ね、すごくいい経験をして、もう音楽の、業界だけじゃなくて、音楽の活動だけではなくて、そういう日常生活のね、もう素晴らしい経験をね。
Don't forget the Sento fetchi.
Sento fetchi.
このツアーで、絶対眠ないよ。毎日はライブをして、デイタイムは、
また遊ぶ。
遊ぶ。
めっちゃ眠たいですね。
オーストラリアに帰るときに。
いや、それはすごく素晴らしい。夜は音楽をね、お昼はもういろんなもう経験とかも、ね、観光とか、すごい素晴らしい。Yeah, so I wish you all the best.
Thank you for having us.
No worries, man.
You too, man.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
Blackan Radio, massive.
Thank you so much. And, 皆さんもう最後になりましたんですけども、キンバとライアンのインタビューですね、すごく素晴らしいインタビューでした。もういろいろ聞いたりして、もっと深くね、その二人の素晴らしいコップルの、音楽活動を理解分かるようになりましたんですね。ですから、これからもぜひ、キンバとライアンの音楽も聞いて、ホームページも訪ねて、Facebook もありますよね。
Facebook have, yeah.
そう、Facebook もね、チェックしてみて、ぜひ、サポートしてください。そう、これからは、最後の、キンバと、ライアンの最後のライブをして、終わりをしたいと思います。今日の次の番組は、African Horizon ね、7時からありますので、ぜひ、チェックしてみてください。So guys, I'm gonna leave you with, the live show with, Kimba by Kimba and Ryan, and the song is titled, I Hear Music.
That's it.
So, I thank everybody for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank everyone for listening, and, and let's check out the live.
Everybody, 皆さんがありがとうございました。楽しました。We had a great time. Sorry about my bad Japanese. But we love Japan. Hey, Japan, Ichiban. Yeah. And this is for you, Japan.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Pop, 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 pop. I hear music, mighty fine music. The murmur of a morning breeze up there. Rattle of the milkman on the stair. Sure, that's music, mighty fine music. The perking of the coffee right nearby. Chirping of a sparrow in the sky. Here's my favorite melody. You, my angel, phoning me. Well, I hear music, mighty fine music. And anytime I think my world is wrong, I get me out of bed and sing this song. Bop, 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 ba, bop, bop, ba, da, bop. Bop, 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 ba, da, bop, bop, ba, da, ba, da, bop, bop, boo, da, do, de, da, 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 ba, da, do, ba, da, 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 ba, ba, da. chirping of a sparrow in the sky. Sure, that's music, mighty fine music. And anytime I think my world is wrong, I get me out of bed and sing this song. Here's my favorite melody. I hear music. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Woo.
Meet Ken. Ken has been running his business in Japan for 5 years, but lately he's struggling to make profit and attract new customers. Sales decline, profit went down. He's struggling to find new customers. He realized he needs a new strategy before things get from bad to worse. What was his solution? A website. Yes, a bilingual English-Japanese website did it. His website attracted new customers. He found new buyers and received constant inquiries from both Japanese and foreign nationals alike. And where did he get his website created? From KCC International Limited in Osaka, Japan. KCC International constructed an effective website for Ken at a reasonable price. Business is booming again. Buyers are ordering and profit is pouring in. Ken made the smart move getting a professional website done. You can get your website created to suit your business style. English, Japanese, or bilingual websites. Call now for rates and more details at 06-6245-7679 or email website at kcc2000.com.